What is going on, everyone? I'm just getting ready for this trip to Santee Cooper. So I'm gonna be getting ready while all of y'all hop on. If you got any questions, drop them in. I'll try to get to them here in a little bit, but I'm gonna start taking cover off and get ready for this tournament. I'm gonna show y'all real quick something pretty cool you should be throwing this time of year. I'm gonna be going to a beast feast at Thomas Road Baptist Church this evening and gonna be talking about fall winter transition. If you're not gonna be there, you need to look and get into it. 2025, just a great show. Has a lot of great people doing seminars, great food. But I'm gonna show you real quick one of the baits I'm gonna be talking about there. And this one is not, I'm not sponsored by this company. I have no affiliation with this company at all. I've just caught a lot of bass off of this bait. Because this time of year, fall, those fish have, let me back up a little bit so you can see a little bit of the background. Those fish have seen so many lures this time of year. By this time of year, you know, they've had the end of winter, spring, summer, all of that's tournament fishing. They've seen so many lures by the time they get to this fall to winter transition. And this is one bait that they have not seen and you need to be throwing. You can get these baits at acmtackle.com. And that is the Duo Realis. This is the 72 Alpha. And the thing I like about this spy bait, different than other ones, is I can throw it on bait casting gear. Here I've got it on a Number 3, Sticks rod. I don't know if you can see the 3 there. Number 3, Sticks rod, which is 7-foot, medium heavy action. It's a medium action, but it feels more like a medium heavy to me because it's got a little bit of backbone to it. But that bait right there, this time of year, fish have not seen this all year long for the most part. Most people are not throwing this. This is a sneaky deal right here. It's very, you just cast it out and you slow reel it back. It's very finessey. If the water's semi-clear to really clear, this bait will draw them from a long ways away because it's got that reflective foil. This bait, I don't know how many fish I've caught. I've been to fisheries. So we got some local lakes that are kind of small. I've been to those local fisheries before, and on those local fisheries, you know, they've been the same school of fish has been beat so many times, and I've taken this bait right here and gone behind people and catch dozens of fish when they won't chase anything else because they've seen every other bait under the sun. This right here is the deal. I like the Alpha because it's a little heavier. You can throw it on bait casting gear. I put it on a light fluorocarbon, a 10 to 12 pound test. That right there, this time of year, like I said, not sponsored, just love this bait. Catches fish. I had it rigged up in my rod locker. I want to show you all that. You can get these in so many different colors at acmtackle.com. Go check them out. Use code DH10. You get 10% off. If you use that code DH10 at acmtackle.com, you can get you some of these 72 Alphas by Duo Realis. Super great lure for this time of year. They haven't seen it. The fish have not seen this. Bass will eat this thing. They're still, and right now they're chasing little bitty shad. They're chasing those little shad this time of year. So this bait will get the job done this time of year. Check it out. So many colors to choose from. If you're fishing places that don't have a lot of shad, they still have bluegill hatch. They still have a crappie hatch. You know, all those little fingerlings, little bass. All those little fingerlings are a 2.5 inch morsel this time of year. That bait gets them. And they got bluegill colors, ring perch colors, shad colors, so many different colors. You can throw this bait and get bit this time of year in places that are getting lots of pressure that no one else is throwing a spy bait. I personally love spinning gear. I love fishing with spinning gear. But on a bait like this, I found that you can throw this 72 on bait casting gear and catch a bunch of fish, cast it a long ways, and it's really a good deal this time of year. So check it out, acmtackle.com. They got a pile of them. I don't know if y'all can see me very good. Let me move the camera. Move the camera so y'all can see me a little better. I'll pull some rods out of the rod locker and I'll show you anything I get that's really cool you need to see. Jay Fred, what's up? Thank you for tuning in, brother. Just getting ready for a Toyota series, a Santee Cooper. Pulling a little bit of my tackle out, checking it out, looking at seeing, you know, what I need to tie up, retie, all that stuff. So tune in. If I see anything in the rod locker I think you really need to know, especially right now, fall fishing, up into winter fishing, I will show you the goods. Here's another one you need to be throwing this time of year. The old drop shot. This one, I fished a lot of tournaments in 20 plus years, and this one has won a lot of tournaments this time of year. That's a missile magic worm on there. John's juice. That right there. Drop shot. Can't be at this time of year. A lot of people ask, how long should you have your leaders from your worm to your weight? How long should you have it? This time of year, I lean on going longer. And I like, you see right here, I got an EWG hook in there. I like EWG hooks this time of year because a lot of the fish this time of year are trying to get in cover. They've been pressured all spring, all summer, and they get in that cover pretty thick sometimes. So I'll throw this in the heart of a brush pile, in the heart of a laydown, you know, right in the middle of a big grass patch. I'll chunk this in there, and I want it to be weedless. Obviously, if I went up north, I would nose hook it, and you know, if I'm fishing for open, you know, shell bid, smallies, and that kind of stuff, I would nose hook it and do a little, you know, a little gamakatsu drop shot hook or Nico hook. But I like the EWG hook. And then, you, like I said, the leaders, keep them longer this time of year. The spring bite, the fall bite, the spring bite and the summer bite, especially spring, you want it shorter. You want it a lot shorter because in the springtime, they can be bidding. They can be, you know, real tight to the bottom, trying to find a place to put their nest. So in springtime, I want my leader to be like that long or that long. But then as the year goes on, it gets longer and longer and longer. And then fall, you want it pretty long. That's the way I like it. Missile, magic worm, 6-inch or 4-inch, gets the job done all across the country. I love it. I'm throwing this on a Vanford, Shimano Vanford spinning reel, 15-pound Seagar smackdown braid to typically, because like I said, I'm throwing this in cover. That's why I got the EWG. I'm typically throwing this on 10, 12, 15-pound test leader, a bigger leader, because you want to get those fish out of that stuff. So that's the setup. Sticks, number 2. It's a 7.2 medium, good rod for drop shotting. That's what I throw this time of year. It's another bait that a lot of people, and this right here is not just a big lake bait. Great for farm ponds, because this time of year in farm ponds, the grass starts dying off. So any bottom grass, mucky grass, algae growth on the bottom, it gets loose this time of year because it's dying. It's starting to die because of the cooler temperatures. It starts to die. And then also you got those fall leaves that start getting into ponds. In farm ponds, this is dynamite because you can keep this right here. It doesn't matter if the weight gets all clogged up on that stuff on the bottom, but you can keep your bait above the bottom. And that's why this time of year, this is deadly. Get you one of those tied on. All right, I'm gonna show you real quick some of my favorite colors for the Missile Magic Worm. So just talking about it with the drop shot, that's a bait you need to throw this time of year, a rig you need to throw this time of year. But here's 3 colors of Missile Magic Worms that you need to have and the reason why you need to have them. So these are my 3 of my favorites because of this reason. So you fish rivers or stained water this time of year, you're gonna have range, you're gonna have stained water. This one, the June Bug Dream, is the cat's meow when it comes to stained water. And I'll show you why. It's really a dark purplish color, which is good in that stained water. See right here. See that dark purplish, but it also has that hint of chartreuse. Great for your river systems, great for your stained water. That right there is the one I would throw if I'm going to the James River or a dirty farm pond or anywhere that's got some stain or it's tannic. That's the color you want to throw. June Bug Dream. Great color. The next one is one that, I mean, everybody loves green pumpkin, everybody loves watermelon this time of year. And this one is a good mix of green pumpkin watermelonish color. Also has a little hint of blue, but it's very different than most colors out there. And that's Blueback Secret. So you can see it right there. Blueback Secret. This is what I'm gonna throw in your clear water. Like Smith Mountain Lake, bathtub clear. It's got that bluish brown on the bottom because they're really keyed in on crayfish a lot this time of year. And then it's got that, like, I call it, it's more of a seedless watermelon on the back. That is a great color for that clear water. And then the last one's the good in between. This color, I've caught them in super clear water. I've caught them in stained water, and this one can kind of get the job done just about anywhere, but it's just that good in between. It's kind of opaque, it's kind of transparent, it's, you know, it's kind of works everywhere, really. And that is, oh, the warning tag off, so you can see it. PB&J time. Peanut butter and jelly. If you're not throwing peanut butter and jelly, you never thrown it before, you need to try it. It's a great color. But you can see it right there. It's a little, it's very natural. Looks a lot like a Nightcrawler. Got a hint of purple in it. That right there is a good all-around color. I've caught them in crystal clear. I've caught them in stained. I like this one as a go-to. But the other ones, if I'm fishing super clear water like Smith Mountain Lake, I'm gonna pick up that Blueback Secret first before I pick this one up. If I'm fishing really tannic river system, I'm gonna pick up that June Bug Dream, just because it's, you can see that, that's bright, it's loud, it's louder in that stained water. So Missile Magic Worms, get a better package there. You can tell this is a little newer package. Made in the USA, super great company, great products, lots of salt. Let those fish hold on for a while. Definitely need to throw this on a drop shot this time of year. Catch a lot of fish with that. Like I said, I've seen a lot of tournaments. I've personally won tournaments on this this time of year. One of my first big wins, so I was fishing a club tournament, and this was back in the day. I think I was 17, 18. I just really started fishing for the first time and out of a boat. And I had a drop shot tied on with they didn't have the Missile Magic Worm at that time, but they had robo worms that were very similar to the PB&J. It was called Oxblood Red, and it was very similar to this. I took a drop shot in that tournament. I won by like 14 pounds. It was ridiculous. But I was on the bait and the pattern that nobody else was on, and that was catching suspended fish with that drop shot. Definitely this time of year, it gets bit. Catches a lot of fish and can catch some big ones. So I'm getting ready to go to Santee Cooper. And Santee Cooper, If you go back and look at the 2020 Elite Series there, which was about the same time of year, because we get to study a lot of old footage and look at maps and all that before these events. So that event, Brandon Polinick won on drop shot. So not just me saying it's a good bait. You need to check it out. Throw a drop shot. I recommend the Missile Magic Worm, but throw a drop shot with a long leader this time of year. I like the lighter weights this time of year, because a lot of the times this time of year the fish suspend, and you throw a lighter weight. You throw a 3/16 instead of a quarter. You throw a, like shallow water, you throw an 1/8 instead of a 3/16. That bait will fall slower, and those fish will come up and grab it. Bruce, what's going on, Bruce? Yeah, I'm getting ready for Santee Cooper, man. I'm just showing a little bit of the stuff that we need to throw here on my first, well, it's actually my second. I did some gardening this morning, but my second YouTube live showing some of the deal. So Missile Magic Worm on a drop shot. I just showed that. He's saying micro jig. Micro jig is a player. Now, I will say, as the water starts getting cooler, I think the micro jig gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and that's because more of those crayfish come out. As those crayfish come out, more and more and more, the jig bite becomes ridiculous. I was going to show that here in a second. I'm digging through my rod locker, showing you some good baits to throw right now. Bruce, if you're still here, man, you probably missed it. I showed him this one earlier. This is a sleeper bait. A sleeper bait that a lot of people are not throwing this time of year, but it is the deal. Got a lot of confidence in this little guy. It is the Duo Realis Alpha 72, and this one is right now, when it's transitioning from the summer to the cooling down into fall. This is dynamite, because they haven't seen it all spring, all summer. They probably have not seen this bait wherever you're fishing. It's very slim chance they've seen this bait. And you throw it and you work it just like jig-hitted fluke back in the day. You throw it out and you just slowly reel it. And what this bait does is those props don't take any movement to get to moving, but the bait rocks like this as it's come back, and it just glides steadily. And if you got clear water, the fish will come a mile to smoke this thing. There's so many little bait fish this time of year. Bluegill, crappie, shad, baby bass. There's so many little bait fish. This thing right here gets hit. I throw it on bait casting gear, 10 to 12 pound tests, wherever you're fishing. This is something they have not seen. Guarantee it. It is a fish catcher. You can get these at Angler's Choice, acmtackle.com. You can get them and get 10% off at DH10 code, because these baits are, a lot of places don't carry them. I mean, you go to your mom and pop tackle store, tackle store, they don't have them. These are hard to get. Not hard to get, but they're just not everywhere. You're not, unlike the Magic Worm, it seems like every gas station I go to, the Missile Magic Worm's in there. This is not the same deal. These are a little more exclusive. ACM Tackle has a huge selection of colors. You can get them 10% off with DH10 at ACM Tackle, so go check that out. A lot of these rods I'm seeing don't have anything tied on them. So as I find the ones that got stuff tied on them, or as I look in my tackle and see baits that I think you all should know for this time of year specifically, it doesn't matter if it's good in the springtime, you probably forget about it by then. But if you're getting ready to go out fishing in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be showing you some baits that you need to get your hands on. So keep looking. So this is another one you need to have tied on this time of year. That is so I'm gonna give a backstory on this bait. One of my first club tournaments that I drew somebody that I never fished with, and we won first and second in that club tournament because it was the back of the boat guy and the front of the boat guy competed against each other back in those days in those club tournaments. And we fished a tournament at Smith Mountain Lake. I drew the guy, and we had a blast that day. We caught so many fish. We blew the tournament out the water, and we both had first and second. But it was in the springtime. It was September, and the guy I drew was Eddie Freeman. God rest his soul. He's passed away now. Super great angler. Just a great guy. Very competitive. I remember when he first got in the club, he didn't want to become friends with people too easily because he was planning on whooping your butt and taking your lunch money. So at the beginning, he was a hard dude to get across to as far as friendship wise. But as I fished the club and he saw how good a fisherman I was, and I saw how good a fisherman he was, we started to respect each other a lot more and started to build a little friendship. Eddie was a great dude, and we had a lot of fun that day, and I'll never forget that day. We started off, we ran halfway up Smith Mountain Lake towards the bridge, and while we were there, we pulled into we were bouncing around point, pockets, going in pockets, trying to figure out where these fish were, because he didn't get to practice, I didn't get to practice, so we were just trying to figure it out. And we used this bait, a spinner bait, to cover a ton of water really fast. Spinner bait's just really good this time of year for just casting and winding and covering a lot of water, keeping it just below the surface, trying to figure out where those fish are. And we did. We stumbled into them. We found out that they were just on the inside of points. They weren't on the points. They were just inside on the points. And we took spinner bait. And I remember the first bite he had was about a 5-pounder, and I caught a 4-pounder on the exact same cast. And that was like the light bulb. But if we wouldn't have covered water fast with no practice like we did, we wouldn't have caught them. So this is a War Eagle spinner bait. I'm not sponsored by them. I've just, I don't have a spinner bait sponsor. But this is just a good spinner bait. And it does have a Gamakatsu stinger hook on there. I'll take that back. I do have, I think they killed some doves back there. I do have I'm gonna get my hands on some Spro spinner baits. They just came out with some. Wish I was back home on Santee right now. Yeah, I'm excited to get down to Santee. I've never been there before. Don't hit a stump down there. Thank you so much for that. I've heard that from a lot of people. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna take my time for sure. But I'm excited to get down there. Giant bass. I love fishing for giant bass. So my personal best 13-10. Hopefully I can break it down there. I don't know if there's any that big down there. I've heard stories. There's some pretty close. So hopefully we can bust it. But a spinnerbait. Spinnerbait this time of year covers water. It mimics, a bunch of bait fish. And that's what you see a lot this time of year is little pods of bait fish. This bait, not Texas big, but they got some big ones. Yeah, I'm excited to get down there. But this bait this time of year just covers so much water so fast. If you are going to a tournament, a club tournament style, and you don't have time to practice, even bigger tournaments, and you just don't have time to practice, this is one bait you can put in your hand, fish the points, fish the insides of the points, fish back in the pockets, fish those areas until you get those signs of where those fish are, because they will smoke this bait this time of year. And the only caveat to this bait that I would say you need to throw, I would have tied on, is an A-rig. Because sometimes those fish get so dialed in on those pods of bait fish, you'll see them. Especially if you fish at evening this time of year, you'll see those pods of bait fish come to the surface. It's crazy. But they get so keyed in on a school style mentality, that sometimes the A-rig works a little better. I think that traditionally, you know, this bait right here, you can get in tighter places. You can cover more water quicker. You have less time getting tangled up on, you know, you tried to cast by a dock and you got hung up on it. You can cover water a lot quicker with this bait. That's why I'm going to grab this one first off, throw it around. But you can throw an A-rig just the same kind of deal. Get that bait fish bite going. You can cover water quick and get after them this time of year. So spinnerbait, tie it on. Farm ponds, just switch this up. Don't throw shad colors. Most farm ponds don't have shad in them. Most of them don't. So just switch this up. Go with like a double gold, and put, you know, a skirt, one that's got a skirt that's more green pumpkinish, more you know, chartreuse and white, that kind of stuff. More matching those bluegill. Do not throw a shad color. Throw a shad color if you get in those shad lakes. That's what I love to throw. But a 1/2 ounce spinnerbait gets it done. I'm throwing it on 20-pound fluorocarbon. The reason why I throw it on 20-pound fluorocarbon, because it gets the job done. Catches a lot of fish. You don't need to go any lighter. 20-pound Seagar. This is Seagar Tatsu. Tatsu, however you want to pronounce it. Throw it on a DC reel, because you can get, I think it's a DC reel. Yeah, got the DC reel on there. I got a lot of DCs. I've got some XTs. But the DC reel allow you to bomb it a mile. And then on top of that, throw it on a rod that's got some length to it, so you can make those long casts. Especially when you're covering points, you're covering the back of pockets. You want to cast as far as you can, because you want to cover as much water as you can. So this is a 7'4", medium heavy. It's a Sticks number 5. This right here, this setup can just demolish them this time of year. So that right there is key this time of year too. Good stinger hook. You need to have this is a Gamakatsu G-Finesse stinger hook. You need to have this on a spinnerbait this time of year, because you'll catch a lot of fish that short strike at it. And the reason why is because they've seen this. They saw this all spring. There's still people throwing it when summertime comes. It's been seen. It's not new. It does a good job. So it's not going to be the first time they've seen it. So you will get some short strikers, especially those bigger fish that are smart. They get so close to it and they realize, oh, it's not exactly what I'm chasing. It's not exactly a shad. It's not as realistic as a shad, and they will short strike it. So put a trailer hook on there. Definitely this time of year. The times I really don't throw a trailer hook on my spinnerbait is springtime, because a lot of times you're catching those first Shelby, cut it out. You're catching those first fish that just pulled up. So you don't need to put a trailer hook on there a lot of times, because you can they'll engulf a bait that time of year. They won't short strike as much as they do in the fall. But also springtime, I really love slow rolling this in structure, like a lay down, slow rolling it right into the structure. So trailer hook keeps you from, if you put a trailer hook on there, you're gonna get hung up more. So keeping it off in the springtime allows you to get it down through that cover better. But in this fall, those fish are a lot more aggressive in the fact they're trying to get fed up before the winter time. So this time of year, put a trailer hook on there. That's the G-Finesse. That thing is money. G-Finesse trailer hook. You can see it's got a weird bend to it. Let's see if you can see it right here. It's got a weird bend. It's not like any other trailer hook on the market. See that? That's the G-Finesse. So when it's coming through the water, it sits the direction you want. If this was, you can tell, if this was straight like most trailer hooks, it would be kind of down in the water. So that bend allows it to sit straight back behind the bait. Definitely awesome trailer hook. Super heavy wire. You ain't bending this trailer hook out. And sticky G-Finesse, sticky sharp, coated. So it'll, man, you see it caught my finger, barely even touched my finger, and it caught it. That trailer hook is the deal. Really good trailer hook for a spinnerbait. And a buzzbait. Also good for a buzzbait. Check it out. Throw that this time of year. See what else we got. I'm gonna have to break open the jig box because I know some of y'all want to see jigs and hear me talk about them. Because a jig this time of year catches big bass. Let's see. So here's my jig box. So I got a little moisture in my compartment. Don't know how I got that, but you know how it is. Bass fishing, you're going to get moisture in your compartments. I mean, it's part of the game. I think the last time I fished, actually, I came back in a rainstorm and didn't have my cover on. That's probably what happened. But look, these boxes, if you're not using these boxes, the planos, look how much moisture. Look how much moisture is on the outside of this box because it's moisture in the compartment. But in the box, dry as a bone. This is my jig box. That's how you can protect your investment. Get a good watertight box, because if you got this many jigs like I do, you need to have a good way to protect that investment. This box does it. It's got the water wicking little capsule that you can recharge every year, keep moisture out. But I'm gonna show you real quick some of the baits, some of the jigs that I really love this time of year. They get so, I don't know if you see that very good. They get so dialed in this time of year on a bluegill pattern. This one right here, the bluegill. This one, missile, mini flip, super sharp gamakatsu hook, 1/2 ounce. This one gets the job done. I love that one at Smith Mountain Lake. Got a bunch of them here. If you are fishing, you know, there's not a lot of places that are clear water. A lot of people fishing stained water this time of year. Standard black and blue. Still catches them, y'all. Still catches them. You need to throw it. Black and blue is a phenomenal color. Got so many different ones in here. Standard green pumpkin. Can't go wrong with a standard green pumpkin. But I'll show you real quick and get this box set down. Here, y'all can see it still. Stay right there, baby. Don't fall. Don't fall. So y'all can see it. I'll get on this side. All right. So on the missile mini flip, the reason I like to throw this time of year is because summertime, people are throwing jigs. People throw jigs all summer, but they're throwing big jigs. They're throwing football jigs offshore. That's mostly what people throw. So when it comes to the fall, I have found that you switch down to that mini missile jig, mini flip. You scale down to this, you're going to get more bites because you're going finessey. It's still a jig, but it's finessier. Little bitty, you can see. I don't know if you see my thumb comparison. It's small jig, little bitty jig. Put a little, like a D chunk on here, micro. You can put any little plastic. I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to do missile plastics, but I mean, they make some great plastics for their jigs because they know they got great jigs. They gotta have great plastics go with it. And that's what Bruce was talking about. The micro jig's diddly. This is the mini flip. I like the mini flip because I do a lot of dock skipping this time of year. And dock skipping, you want a jig with a heavy hook. You can see that's got a pretty strong gamakatsu hook in it. I mean, that thing's not bending out. Put this on 17-pound test, put this on 20-pound test, get up underneath that dock and catch you a big bass. Weed guard is perfect stiffness. I think this was one of, I would believe, I'm not 100% sure, I'm guessing, this was probably one of John Cruz's bread and butters in tournament fishing. And he's made this thing right. P head, So it kind of comes through everything good. P's a good in between. You go with the round head, you're not going to get through rocks very good because it's going to be smaller. You go with a wider, like a arky or a football style, you're going to come through rocks better, but you're not going to do as good coming through the limbs of trees and stuff. So a P head is like a good in between, does it all, workhorse jig. But weed guard is the perfect happy median. You don't want one too stiff. You don't want one too soft. Too soft, you throw it up underneath the dock. You come around the pole just right, you can get hung up. You get it too stiff, you make a long cast. You go to set the hook on a fish, you're not going to get that hook buried into that fish. So it's a good happy median. The length is right. Everything about this jig. This is a jig I love. I love to throw this time of year. I caught some big bass. Me and Brandon Pritchett fished team tournaments, and he loves missile jigs too, but he also loves greenfish tackle. He got other jigs that he throws a lot. This bait, I can put this on, and even if we're on a jig bite and he's throwing a jig, I can throw this behind him and get extra bites. So it's kind of finessey. It's a really good jig this time of year. And like I said, that color, look at all that sparkle in there. Beautiful. This jig gets the job done all over the country, all over different fisheries. Just change the color up, whether you're in stained water or not. Black and blue is a beautiful color this time of year. Does a lot of work this time of year. But I also like the bluegill colors as well. Crayfish and bluegill colors. There you go. There's another one. Need to have tied on this time of year. Old jig. Really love these Plano boxes. They protect your investment really well. All right, here's another sleeper bait. Most people don't think about this time of year. I got a box dedicated to it. That is the rattling baits. Lipless crankbaits, rattle traps, generic name. There's so many versions of these. But I will tell you, these, in my opinion, they're the best, one of the best spring baits, no question. Covering grass, covering a lot of water, these in springtime are deadly. But this time of year, they can do the same thing. Same thing. Those fish that are moving, and you're trying to find them, and they get that right temperature day, a little cooler, a little overcast, kind of like today is a little bit. They can pull up into those pockets and start really feeding on shad where they were kind of offshore before. So this bait is great for covering a lot of water, great for matching those little bitty shad this time of year. So I would say this is one you need to have tied on for sure. But I'm gonna show you real quick what about these baits you need to be focused on. Like if you're going to a tackle store, there's a ton of these to choose from. What do you need to throw this time of year? So this time of year, you need to throw, hang on, here. You need to throw those littler rattling baits. This is a Jackal, TN60 size. They got 70s, 50s, a bunch of different sizes. This is a great little shad mimicker this time of year. I love to throw that. I got another one here. Shad colors, different shad colors. this time of year. On the bigger bodies of water that have shad, that's what you need to be throwing. And I don't even know what these colors are called, so please forgive me. And this is 60 as well. It is a 60. That bait right there, the little shad imitators, hard to beat this time of year. I got Spros in here. The Spro, I've really fell in love with the Spro. Aruca shad, I've really fell in love with it this past year. Used it a lot more. Chartreuse and red, got a really good sound to it. It's got the big beads and the little beads, which gives you a multi-tone. Spros. I got some custom ones in here. Got a bunch of different ones in here. Here's one for you farm pond guys. Fishing a farm pond. Little bluegill imitator. Yep. Got a bunch of different ones in here. The reason I got a bunch of different ones is because they straight catch them this time of year. You can just, like I said with the spinnerbait, you can cover so much water. So much water. Bunch of some 6 cents ones. I got a bunch of them. The reason I got a bunch of them, the 6 cents ones, is because these baits are overlooked other times of the year. I catch a bunch of fish on them in springtime. Have catch some big check on the springtime on them. But this time of year, throw the shad colors, throw the bluegill colors, you will get your arm ripped off. Because it's not something people are throwing. Here's an old school rattle trap. People are not throwing this stuff, man, this time of year. I don't know why it gets overlooked, but it catches them, and it covers a lot of water. But lipless crankbait. I keep this box in there all year long. Wintertime, it's good. Springtime, it's good. Don't really throw them much in the summer. Got other baits that I feel like are a little better. But fall is when I start breaking these bad boys back out. They can catch them. All right, I'm gonna show you one last thing, and this is just a cool product thing. So I just got these this year, and you can see mine's already dirty a little bit. I've been using it a lot. But this is the Spro waterproof. It's pretty noticeable. It's bright green, grayback. Spro waterproof terminal boxes. I mean, they're great for terminal. I mean, you can use them for a bunch of different stuff, but this is what I feel like they get this is the calling for these. So, see right here. I don't have the top filled up yet, but I've got the bottom with all of my split rings, screw locks, swivels, terminal tackle box that this thing I'm falling in love with. You just watch it real quick. Spring locked, waterproof. That's what that green seal is. It's waterproof. Just a phenomenal box. This is the extra large size. Glad I got this because I got so much terminal tackle. I still got to put a bunch more in it. It's got beads in there, you know, rattles and everything. But this box being waterproof, it protects my investment. You don't have rusted split rings and rusted swivels and stuff like that when you go to use them. But also this feature right here, that spring lock, that is awesome, man. I love it. I love little things like this. This one's, to be such a small box, is designed so well. Every single compartment, so let me open the top up so they don't have anything in it. Every single compartment on here, every one is adjustable. Even as little as it is, every one is adjustable. You can make it however you want, whatever configuration you want. Really cool box. Spro, you nailed it with this one. Love this box. You need to check them out. This is the extra large size. They got other sizes. The reason I got the extra large was because I got a lot of terminal tackle. I got a lot more I need to put in. Great, I got a drop shot one I've used for my drop shot weights, my drop shot hooks, everything like that. I've got one designed, dedicated to my drop shot stuff. I got one that's my terminal, as you can see here. And I got another one. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. So if you got any ideas of what this box would be good for, please shout it out real quick so I can think about that and be like, yeah, that's a good point. But this box, wow, this is one of the best waterproof boxes I've gotten recently that I've fallen in love with. So really good latching system. Check it out. It's pro. This box is the real deal, y'all. Super durable. I mean, you can tell it's heavy duty. Look at the size of the bar that goes in on the plastic latches to swivel open. I mean, this thing is designed right. Every time. Perfectly pops up, spring loaded, clicks back down, super easy. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. Tackle storage. Spro, terminal box, waterproof. You can get it at all your retailers. If you go to acmtackle.com, you can get 10% off if you use DH10. That's English Choices Tackle Store. You can get 10% off. Go there, put DH10 in, get you 10% off on great stuff like this. The missile jigs, the drop shot stuff, all that stuff is there. They've got so much stuff there. I have to go over there on a regular basis and look around just to see what else I can find, because there's so much. A lot of Japanese stuff, a lot of glide baits, a lot of great stuff over there. acmtackle.com, get you some boxes, get you some great stuff with DH10 as a promo code. Check it out. All right, I'm gonna go get one more thing, show you all. Well, here, let me show you this first. Get ready to hop off of here. I want to show you some of the things that you need to get. I mean, just good stuff, just good products. So we run these for, right, 3 years now. Yeah, right at 3 years now. And these are a lifesaver when it comes to retying, when it comes to rigging, when it comes to doing a lot of things. Busting the paint out of a jig head. So many different things you can use this for. I've used it for prying on stuff, cutting zip ties off, a lot of stuff. I mean, I can go on stories about what I use this for. But Bubba shears. I'm gonna go show y'all the. I use the Bubba scale. I love the Bubba scale. It's a phenomenal scale. I'm gonna go get the Bubba scale I just bought, because we get one given to us on the invitationals to use, because they have a live score tracker. So they make us use them, and throughout the year, that's what I use. But when the season's over, they take it away. And I had one, a Bubba scale personally last year. I gave it to a friend of mine. He needed it before a tournament. I gave it to him and let him have it. So I had to buy another one, and I just bought another one. Tackle Warehouse has them. ACM Tackle has them. You get 10% off at ACM Tackle if you use DH10 on those Bubba scales. So go check that out, acmtackle.com. You can get you the Bubba scales, you can get Bubba shears at there with 10% off with DH10. But anyways, I'm going to show you the scales because they're phenomenal. If you do not have them, they are phenomenal. But these scissors, easy to clean, click on part. They are obviously I mean, I don't know if they promote that, but obviously rust proof, because I've had these in my boat for, like I said, almost 3 years now. Not a stitch of rust anywhere. Take that back. Right here. You can't even see it. It looks like it maybe, I don't even know if that's rust. I think that's blood, to be honest with you. But no rust. In my boat, untouched, almost 3 years. You're not gonna see that from other products. Bubba just makes stuff differently. I don't know, I would love to visit their warehouse, like where they make this stuff at, because they just make stuff differently. It is, every product they put out is going to be top notch in quality and craftsmanship. The scales are no different. I'm getting ready to go get the scales. I got them inside. I just recently bought them. I'm getting ready to go get those, show you those, how those work, what kind of case they come in and all that. But the Bubba shears, ridiculous. Got a scaler right here. Just a phenomenal set of shears. They're serrated. That's what makes them. That's what makes them cut through anything. Let me get something to cut through. Show you real quick. Man, I wish I had a rod sleeve that was. Let's see, I got something here I can cut through. It'd be like pretty miraculous. There you go. Here we go. Got a rope. Big, thick piece of rope versus Bubba shears. Just to show you. There you go, Bubba shears. Just to show you. I don't think it's anybody on there right now. It's showing people 0. So this will be for the people who watch it after the fact. But piece of rope versus Bubba shears. Done. These things I've cut through big plastic tubings. I had to cut a big piece of heavy tubing for, what was I doing with it? I think it was siphoning gas or something, or I can't remember what I was doing with it. No. It was for the oil change. It was for the oil change on my motor. This way. For my motor, I had to put the piece of tubing on the spout to get it to drain down. So I had to cut that tubing, and I used these. You can see, I mean, this is some thick rope. That's some thick, like, this is rope from when I was a firefighter. This was the rope, life safety rope we used for rappelling and search ropes and all that. This is thick stuff, y'all. Thick stuff, multi-strand, thick rope. And you saw, I mean, this stuff is ridiculous. These blades right here, the Bubba shears, ridiculously good. They will handle a piece of braid, a piece of mono, a piece of fluorocarbon, like nothing. But they're also good for other jobs as well. Zip ties, they don't stand a chance, these Bubba shears. But let me go get the scales, show you those, and then I will hop off on here. Showed y'all some good stuff. Gotta get this boat cleaned up and ready to go for the next tournament. But stay tuned. I'm gonna go get those scales real quick. All right, I'm back. All right, so this is what I was talking about. The Bubba Pro Series Smart Fish Scale. This scale we use in the invitationals. I use in my tournaments in between the invitationals. They give us a set of these because on the invitationals, they have live reporting. These attach directly to your phone in the app, and you can keep your weights, and that's what they use for your live recording. But just to show you, this is how it comes. There's the talking about the app and stuff. The different modes. So we always use tournament mode because it gets the beauty of this scale is it gets to 5 fish, and then when it gets to 5 fish, it starts culling for you immediately. So really smart scale. But so you just packaging it a little better. So there's the back of it. That's the Pro Series Smart Fish Scale. They have different models. They have the Pro Series, and I think I can't remember what the regular one's called. If it's just called the Sportsman Series or something like that. But this is the top of the line one. The Pro Series is the lower one. Will take lithium batteries just like this one, but it doesn't come with it. You got to buy it separate. It takes regular AA's. This takes AA. So Bubba, like I said, with the pliers, they just make stuff differently. If you've ever, you can tell the difference between a jig head that's made good and a jig head that's not made good, right? Well, think of those two products and think of 100 times better. That's what Bubba shoots for. Bubba shoots for taking their stuff to an unbelievably rigid, set standard, engineering-wise, craftsmanship-wise. Their products are just ridiculously good. So this is their box. The Pro Series comes with. The lower series does not come with this box. Really nice. This is opening for first time. I just bought this one. So for the first time, here it is. This one is the Pro Series. Like I said, comes with a charging cord. Super convenient because the charging is, you see it right there, it's a USB-C. Same one that goes to your GoPro. So same exact one that goes to your GoPro, and my computer, my MacBook takes the same one. So this one covers both my scale, my GoPro cameras, actually charges my computer, not my banks, not my power banks, but it covers most of my stuff. So that comes with the charging cord, comes with the heavy duty clip. This clip, I've had, what's the biggest fish I've had on it? I've had catfish on it, I've had stripers on it. I've had other stuff. I'm actually, I've tried the scales on weights and ropes and stuff like that. This is a heavy duty clip for sure, but it also comes with the hook. So if you're doing a lot of saltwater fishing and stuff, this hook, look how thick that is. This thing's not gonna bend. They make things differently at Bubba. Just the mindset there, as far as the quality and the strength of their products they make is above and beyond. They're not wanting something to come back to them. So they make their stuff really, really ridiculously good. This is a waterproof case. It's got a actual plate here. You can see it. It's a plate that holds it tight while it's in the case, so it isn't going to route around, isn't going to get shook up. Got your fishing for dealers. Is that how you pronounce your name? Yeah. You've been thinking about getting one of these? They're ridiculously good. Like I said, invitationals, I use one because they give us one because they want to keep the live scoring on the invitationals. So they give us one to use so we can keep up with our live scoring. And I use it in my tournaments in between because I have it with me, so it's rechargeable. Here's the lithium battery it comes with. Right there, see the USB-C port. Little lights right here, turns green when it's ready, red when it's not. Super convenient. Comes with an extra, this system comes with an extra battery container for AA's. So if the lithium goes out in the middle of an event or in the middle of a trip that you're on and you can't get a replacement really quickly, they got it where you can just put some regular standard double A's in there. I mean, it's super smart. They think of everything. These scales, super convenient to use. Let me show you real quick how to use it. Hopefully the battery's got some juice in it. I would think so. Most companies that send a lithium battery, they send it, pre-charged a little bit. Bubba Pro Series scales. All you do right here, open it up, like that. Now, this is something I've done accidentally and tried to blame it on Bubba, and was, yes, they are expensive. They are expensive, but for the money you put into this investment, I have taken these and have dropped them from really high up on the deck of my boat. I've dropped them out of my boat on while I'm prepping. I've taken these things and dropped them in live wells. I have put these things through the ringer. This is an investment that you put that money in one time and boom, you've got a scale. I don't know how long these things will last. They don't let us keep them on the invitationals, but this scale, ridiculously strong. Like I was saying earlier, they make stuff so rigid. Those shears I showed, hey, what are they at? Here they are. I don't know if you were in here fishing for dealers, but these shears, I've had them in my boat, in the holder, for 3 years, going on 3 years. These shears, not a stitch of rust. They make stuff ridiculously good. This is, so $199 is the standard cost. If you go to anywhere, Tackle Warehouse, Angler's Choice, ACM Tackle, any retailer, and you buy these, $199. But if you go to acmtackle.com, you use code DH10, you can get 10% off of this. You need to check that out. But these scales are ridiculously strong, and you will buy them. You will not have to worry about them. That's the part of, to me, it's worth spending extra money if you got a product that's like this. That's like a tank. It's not going to fail you. But the lithium battery, just don't put the little connectors sticking out when you're putting it in. I've done that before, and then was like, man, why is my scale not working? It's just operator error. But throw it in, and then you push the button. Boom, there it is. It's got a QR code for me to sign in with my app. Let's see, remind me later. And there it is, zeroed out. Oh, I got a little push on it. Oh, let's clear it. I had a little push on it when I started it. There you go. There it is. Oh, so it's seeing when I turn it like this, because you're supposed to have it straight down. When I turn it like this, it's seeing just the hook being pulled. But let me see if I can get that where it's with 0, 0, so you can see that. Nope, it's not gonna do it. But here, let's turn it like this so you can see it. 0, 0. It's ready to go. Like I said, this scale, super accurate. I fish obviously tournament trails that we get to see our weights at the end of the day, and super accurate scales. And one thing I've noticed that I've tried, when I had a Rapala scale before, good scale, not knocking Rapala, but I've dropped it in my live well before and it stopped working, and I had to balance beam fish the rest of the day, and it was a nightmare. I've had that Rapala scale, I've dropped it on the deck before and it stopped working and give me problems. But process of cleaning up Milliken's Camus from last year. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome, man. Yeah, Milliken, that boat's tricked out. Did he leave everything on it for you? That's cool. This scale, the reliability, the accuracy, like I said, I've dropped it a bazillion times. He said negative. But you got a good deal. That's awesome, man. That's anytime you can get a pro's boat, it's normally a super deal. Just Raptors and Ultrex. Okay, cool. Well, congratulations on that, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that boat, I've heard nothing but great. I've never personally owned a Camus, but I've heard nothing but great things on them. And you got a good deal. That's the best part about buying a pro's boat. My last boat before this one was Matt Airy's boat. I bought his Ranger, and yeah, full warranty motor and boat. Yeah, exactly. Pro boats, you can get great deals, great warranties, and for the most part, a lot of us pro anglers honestly don't put a lot of time in our boats. I don't put a lot of hours in this boat. We go to tournaments. We'll go for a 7-day tournament, come back. It sits while we're doing all our content creation and stuff like that. We don't really put a lot of hours on them, to be honest. A lot of wear and tear on our boats. Yeah, 300s on the motor. That's things. What kind of motor is it? It was the Yamaha, right? Yeah. So that boat right there, you got a good boat for sure. But anyway, the scales, super accurate scales. Oh, it's got a Mercury. Nice. That's awesome, man. But yeah, I love my Mercury. I absolutely love my Mercury. Pro XS, ridiculously good motor. But this scale, like I was saying earlier, it's worth the extra money. It really is. Because most scales, you think about it, most scales are going to cost you $70 to $120 for a standard Rapala or something like that. That's the kind of price range you're in. You might as well spend a little bit more and get one that's like a tank. This thing is bulletproof. Super smart. When it gets to that fifth fish in tournament mode, you see it's got 8 spots here. And that's because they got a culling system that has 8 spots, and it's also for anybody that wants to use it that way. But when it gets to the fifth fish, you can change that too. This thing is so smart. It's got so many things you can change in the background. You can change the backlighting to conserve battery. You can change how many fish your tournament, like if you're doing a 3-fish tournament, if you're fishing a club tournament that some reason they decided to do 4, you can change that on here. But when it gets to that 4th fish, it automatically culls. So like you weigh the fish and it suggests which one you need to cull. So all you gotta do is say, okay, number 1 is the next one. So you take that fish, clip it off, throw it in the water, put the O in it. This scale saves so much time, saves so much hassle. It's so accurate. I highly recommend this set of scales. That's why I had it. So I got a few more tournaments this year. I got some team tournaments. I got the Toyota Series Championship I'm trying to qualify for. I got a Toyota Series coming up at Santee Cooper. I had to get a scale that I can rely on. And since they took my Bubba scales back that they give me on the invitationals, I had to get another set. So that's why I've got these. Yes, DH10 at acmtackle.com. DH10 get you 10% off your entire order. So it doesn't matter what you get there. You get, you could throw one of these in there, throw you some lures, a rod, whatever you get, DH10. And ACM Tackle being a new online company, they have a free sun shirt that you can get it's like a $30 sun shirt, and you have to just spend $25 or more to get that free sun shirt. So you do not get the scales. You could get you a couple soft plastics and some jig heads, and you get over $25 and get a free $30 sun shirt. They got that deal going on. They got a lot of sales on there right now. They're not a new tackle store. I don't want to say that. Angler's Choice Marine is one of the biggest Triton and Ranger dealers in the nation. I think they're the biggest Triton Ranger dealer in the nation. Mine's only about 5 hours. From Central Virginia, it's going to be about 5 hours, so it's not too bad. But ACM Tackle they took their store they have at their Martinsville location, which is a huge tackle store. If you're anywhere you can get to that tackle store within 3 to 4 hours, you need to go check it out. It's like a Japanese JDM and Bass Pro Shops had a baby, and the baby came out better than both. It's really crazy. But you need to go check them out. acmtackle.com got a lot of JDM stuff and all that, but they got those promos right now. 10% off with my code, but also it's just a great selection of stuff. You will find stuff you want there, guaranteed. Mega bass selection, second to none. It's pretty ridiculous, but check it out. Thank you all, thank you, Fishing for Dealers. Thank you so much for jumping on here, man. I hope you enjoy that Milliken boat, man. I know he's going to be running the best of the best, so you definitely got the best of the best. So, oh yeah, big bass on Table Rock. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Yeah, we had the championship, Toyota championship on Table Rock last year. A lot of suspended smallmouth and spotted bass in that tournament. I think I finished in the 20s in that tournament. Got a good check. That'll be a fun tournament for sure. I stayed mid lake is where I stayed in that tournament. So have fun. Go catch them, brother. Thank you all for tuning in, and God bless y'all all. Thank you.